What's up, world? Thanks for stopping by my channel. My name is Ray, and if this is your first time here, consider subscribing or giving me a thumbs up on the video if you like the content. I plan to share more content, more videos on this channel about real estate investing, investing itself, entrepreneurship, just things you can do to get started on your own in the industry or in the business, and how you can get it all rolling. Me personally, I was wholesaling for about 2.5 years. I put that on the back burner here recently just so I could lock in and pass my state and national here in Virginia to get my real estate license. I didn't pass on the first time, but that does not mean that you can't. So I wanted to do this video to share a couple tips and tricks on what some things I wish I knew before I took the exam, and some things that might be able to help you. So let's get right into the video. Tip number 1 is stop telling people you're taking the exam. I know it sounds crazy, but you're just putting more stress on yourself. Don't tell your friends, don't tell your aunts and your uncles like, hey, I just signed up to take the test, I'm about to get my real estate license, because then everybody's going to be texting you, calling you, hitting you up on Facebook like, how'd it go? Did you pass? Blah, 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 blah. So it just puts more stress on you, and it takes a lot off when you just don't tell anybody. The last time that I went to go take mine, I told my girlfriend and my nanny who was babysitting my daughter at the time, and other than that, that was it. Nobody even knew that I was going to take it. So when I called everybody afterwards, they were like, what? I didn't even know. So I feel like that's a really good tip. And these tips are not in order at all. But tip number 2, use your free time wisely. It came down to the point where I wasn't, sitting around watching a bunch of Netflix. I wasn't, hanging out with the guys or, playing sports and stuff like that. Like, I just locked in and I was like, we have to get it done this time, because it costs $60 here in Virginia to take the test. And even if you only pass, if you pass half of it, you still have to pay $60 to take even one of them. I do know that is cheaper than most states, but hey, $60 is $60, and I didn't have it to waste. So definitely the last time I was like, we're already $180 in on, exams, so I don't want to pay that anymore. So use your free time wisely. Tell the bros or the girls, hey, I can't hang out tonight. I gotta study. We gotta lock in and knock this out. So I feel like that was a good tip. Number 3, this is actually like a pointer on, learning the information, is learn the vocab first. Don't just say, oh, I want to just lock in and just start taking practice test. One thing with the practice test is you kind of start to remember the practice test you're taking. So that's kind of a good way to learn, but it's kind of not. So you want to know the vocab, so that way it doesn't sound foreign when you do start to take your practice test. You already know the vocab, then that way you can even explain it to your friends and stuff, which is a good study habit, just to, talk real estate with your friends and everything like that. You want to be able to explain the real estate terms in one word. So if somebody's like littoral, you want to say lake, or riparian, you want to say river. Simple things like that, to be able to answer those vocabs and those vocab words in one word itself, or as short, as simple as possible. That way you can actually understand the information and be able to explain it to other people if need be. Number 4, once again, I said it does cost $60 to take the test, but that's what it costs here, but don't be afraid to take the test. I know I put it off because I was like, I want to know it all, but me being able to go and sit down at the facility and actually take the test and get a feel for the format and the layout, I felt like was a really big help. So don't be scared to, if you think you got it, don't be afraid to go. I mean, you don't want to waste your money, but it does help out to be able to sit down and see everything. And if you don't pass the first time, it's not like you can't just sign up and go take it again. Number 5, I would say if you don't already, you should have some friends that are planning on getting in the business or are already agents. So me personally, what I did, I got a friend's his mother's book. She had all her notes and everything in it that she had when she was taking her course exam. So that was really helpful. You know, a lot of key points were highlighted. I was able to read it, state portion, national portion, front to back, and take the practice test in there. So that was a really big help. And like I said, if you don't already have agent friends, you should, because you should be wanting to get acquainted with how the business works. You know, you can talk contracts and, you know, laws of practice with them. And, you know, that's just going to help you advance further quickly if you're, you know, always thinking real estate. So that was a really big help. And number 6, there is so much free content on the internet to where you should not have to pay for a mentor. Now, everyone learns different. Me, I'm a very visual learner, so I'm not really good at classrooms. I wasn't the best kid in school. So I can sit down and watch a video and process that information really good. So Prep Agent on YouTube is such a great help. They have so much free content to where you don't even have to pay for their services. I mean, and you should if you think you need a one-on-one session. But Joe and those guys over at Prep Agent are really nice at supplying a lot of free content, and it is enough to help you pass the exam. Like I said before, knock out the vocab first. You can go to the sections where the playlist sections, and there's a bunch of different categories. You can knock out all the vocab first, then go through your contracts, laws of agency, and then start taking your practice tests and things like that. But I really feel like there's just so much free content out there that where you shouldn't have to pay more money to become an agent, because it does cost some money once you do pass your test. So is the cheaper the better for us, you know, unless you're rolling in the dough, go ahead, get all the mentors and tutors you want to help you pass. But I was trying to go the cheapest route possible. Number 7, when it comes down to studying and when it really comes down to taking the test, focus on what you know. Do not stress on things that you're probably never gonna really grasp the concept of anyways. Especially when you're taking the test. I would take the test. If I knew it, I answered it, moved on. If I didn't know it, I'm not gonna sit there and stress over something that I'm probably not gonna get right anyways. There's a feature on the test, you can mark it and you can come back to it later on. So I really think that when it comes down to studying, when it comes down to taking the test, focus on what you're already good at. Everybody freaks out about the math. Like, don't be too worried about that just because it's such a small portion of the exam. Yes, it matters, but there's no point of stressing yourself out if you're probably not going to get it anyways. And that kind of leads into number 8. You have to know the math formulas in order to get those questions right. Of course, the percentages and commissions and things like that, they're easy to figure out. But when it comes down to amortization and PMI and things like that, like gross rent multiplier, and that's not that hard, but you really want to know the formulas to help you when you sit down in front of the computer and take the exam. They do give you like an amortization chart, but they don't give you the formula. Just because you have the chart doesn't mean you're going to get it right. You have to know the formula to break down and use that chart. Once again, don't really stress yourself out about the math because it's such a small portion, but to help you out, know the formulas. It'll go a very long way. Number 9, the test is not hard. It's tricky. I'll say that again. The test is not hard. It's tricky. Just the way they word things, the way they kind of break it down. They try to trick you multiple times. But sometimes they do give you a hint on like, these two cannot be it just by the way it's worded. But you got to look out for your ors or your excepts or, you know, all of the above. Things like that really goes a long way. Read the question 2 or 3 times if you have to, and just know that they're trying to trick you. So don't fall into the trap. And number 10, I mean, when it comes down to it, if you really want to pass the test, you'll pass the test. I mean, put some pressure on yourself. I started golfing last year. I'm obsessed with golf. And I told myself, I was like, you're not going golfing until you pass this exam, you know, things like that. Tell the friends they can't come over, or, you know, say, just put a little pressure on yourself. I'm not going to do this until I pass the exam, or set a goal or a reward for yourself for afterwards. So that way you really lock in hone in, study the concepts, get all the formulas and things down, so that way you know you're gonna pass the test. And that's how I wanted to. The first time I went, I was too confident. I was like, man, I got this. You know what I mean? The second time, I wasn't too sure. I was kind of bummed. It was like, I thought I had it last time. So like, what did I do wrong? But the third time, I locked in for so long, like for a week before, I was like, and every day, I woke up, prep agent, I'm in the shower, I got it on, I'm listening to it. And I was just instilling everything in my head, so I was just thinking real estate all the time, because if you really want something, and this just isn't with real estate, this is with anything in life. If you really want it, you can get it. So I think I'm going to end the video on there. If you guys found this helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. I plan on dropping a lot more content on, real estate, investing, and things like that. And I want to be able to share some things I wish I knew when I got started, and, bring you all along with my journey on me becoming an agent, because that's lit. I passed the test. You can too, man. So I hope this video was helpful. Please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Take care.